Welcome to the AI Applied podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Each week, I cover breaking AI news, tools, and interview experts giving you actionable tips on applying AI into your career, job, workflows, and life. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really appreciate it. Today on the podcast, we're going to be jumping into some science mixed with AI, and we are talking about predicting the weather with AI. There's actually two groups of researchers that have recently come out with some very interesting research and some very interesting techniques. So today on the podcast, we're going to dive into what is going on in the world of weather prediction and AI. So the headline story here is essentially that there's a team, a couple teams. One of the teams was from Huawei Cloud, and essentially they developed a system dubbed the Pangu weather, which essentially uses historical data of the weather to predict weather conditions a week in advance. And the system was trained using 39 years of weather data, using current weather patterns to make predictions. Really interestingly, I think it performs its predictions a lot faster than existing systems, but it doesn't actually provide predictions about precipitation amounts. So instead, it actually estimates temperature, wind speed, air pressure, and other weather-related data. So that really leaves humans to estimate predictions based on the provided information. So simultaneously, a collective team from Tsinghua University, which is essentially the China Meteorological Administration, and also one of their associates at the University of California, Berkeley, they designed what's called Nowcast-Net. So unlike Pangu weather, Nowcast-Net focuses on predicting precipitation levels for the next 6 hours using both historical data and also physical rules. And it demonstrated accuracy compared to traditional systems and also delivered results more rapidly. So currently, the most accurate weather forecasting is done using numerical models, which apply mathematical and physical formulas to current weather data. And these systems, while generally reliable for major metropolitan areas, are CPU intensive and can take hours to generate results. So both the Pangu weather and Nowcast-Net systems both actually promise to significantly speed up this process. Ebert Uhoff and Kyle Hilburn of the Cooperative Institute of Research in the Atmosphere at Colorado State University have recently kind of jumped into this whole conversation. And they did this by actually publishing a weather predictive systems report recently in which they called News and Views article in Nature. And so essentially they highlighted the challenges of building AI weather predictive systems and also the accomplishments of the team behind these two new platforms that have been developed. So I think, overall this is really impressive. While the accuracy of weather prediction is really crucial to a variety of sectors, like if we're talking about agriculture, disaster management, being able to accurately predict the weather is really important for those sectors, particularly agriculture, predicting when rain or snow or frost might affect your crops, with, either kill them or help them. So this is really important. Billions of dollars trickles down below that, particularly through agriculture. And so this is something that people really want to get right. And so I think because of that, the potential of these AI-based weather predictions is really just the beginning. We're really just beginning to kind of tap them. So I think though these systems are still in the kind of test of principle stage, the promising results point to the possibility of AI-based weather forecasting becoming essentially the standard approach in the not too distant future. And of course, we haven't been doing this in the past. We haven't been doing a lot of this AI weather predictive systems. But now that we have this AI and we have these new AI power capabilities that are super powerful, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this in the future. I think that these advancements mark a really significant step forward in the use of AI in meteorology, which in my opinion suggests a future where weather predictions are a lot faster, they're a lot less resource intensive, and maybe even more accurate, right? So I think it's interesting with, both of these new models that have come out. They both lacked something, but together they were able to predict the precipitation and the weather patterns based off of data and historical information, and what we're seeing today. So I think that's really impressive. Combining the two, they do get a really massive chunk of this prediction, and they get it right to a high level. And I think the results of these two kind of teams that are working on this are really impressive. They both published reports in the journal Nature, so you can read more about them there. But overall, I think this is going to have some massive implications for a lot of different industries, for weather, for news, for agriculture, a lot of different spaces. Of course, everyone wants to know what the weather's like, and if you could more accurately predict that, I think people would appreciate that. I've definitely have lived places before where weather predictions were never very accurate, and some people just never checked what the weather was because the accuracy was not super high. I think today, by and large, we have fairly accurate weather prediction results in a majority of places, but being able to take this up to a higher level, and I think is going to be really impressive, especially when we're looking at historical data. Something I view as being very impressive, very interesting is, being able to look at a further forecasted weather into the future. Now, I know that is sort of difficult due to a lot of different variables, and a lot of the weather predictions is essentially looking at historical data, then looking at the data that we have today about how the weather and atmosphere and everything around us is going. So I understand there definitely are challenges there, but I think overall this is going to be a really interesting space to follow in the future. There definitely are some big implications into how this affects some, multi-billion-dollar industries. If you are looking for an innovative and creative community of people using ChatGPT, you need to join our ChatGPT creators community. I'll drop a link in the description to this podcast. We'd love to see you there, where we share tips and tricks of what is working in ChatGPT. It's a lot easier than a podcast, as you can see screenshots, you can share and comment on things that are currently working. So if this sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the comment. We'd love to have you in the community. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Applied podcast. Make sure to rate this wherever you listen to your podcasts, and have a fantastic rest of your day.